Why would you ignore my emails? I'm sending you emails and you guys are not responding. You guys are foolish and stupid. You're full of shit. Woo. You don't do that. Okay, guys, you're welcome back to my channel. My name once again is Dr. Chidebere Nwachukwu, and I am the founder of Vidant Solutions Limited. Vidant Solutions is an international recruitment and travel agency that is saddled with the responsibility of connecting employees to employers abroad. And so we are in a delicate balance where we are helping to connect people who are seeking for jobs with people who have vacancies to fill up. And so if that's something that you want to hear more about, then stick around to this channel, subscribe to our channel, turn on the notification buttons, so you're going to hear more of what we have to say. So beyond just shooting videos about jobs, we also talk about visas and countries and all the immigration policies and all of those stuff. So if that's what you're going to want to hear about or listen to or watch, then this is the right community for you. Turn on your notifications, subscribe, hit on the subscribe button immediately, and then we take it up from there. So today, this is a continuation of a series about the mistakes that employees or people who are seeking for jobs make that hurt their chances of getting hired by companies and HRs and recruiters. And so today I'm talking about email habits that are hurting your chances of getting a job. What are these email habits? And because in this day and age, not many organizations are still doing physical applications and papers here and there. So most things are going digital. And as they go digital, email continues to take the top position. It's been there for a while, and it's still one of the top places that organizations accept applications from and relate with potential employees before they are hired. And I'm going to be sharing with you very deep things that you might have been overlooking that have been hurting your chances of getting hired. So let's go right in without wasting your time. Now, for those, I don't believe there's anybody ignorant of this, but I'm just going to talk about it. So there are a number of email, platforms that people use. There's Gmail, there's Yahoo Mail, and organizations have their own mails and all of that. But whichever one, the popular ones are Yahoo Mail and Gmail. And so you will most likely have an email account, something at gmail.com or something at yahoo.com, through which you are sending your applications to these organizations, their corporate emails, and whatever platforms that they receive their emails on. And so one of the bad email habits that we have seen that hurts the chances of people who are seeking for jobs is not checking their emails. Not checking your emails. Now, we live in a day and age when people are always with their phones. They're always pressing their phones. So it beats my imagination that someone drops an application and is seeking for a position via email, and he checks his WhatsApp 50 times a day, 100 times a day, and he checks his email once in 2 weeks, once in a week, once in 4 days or 3 days. That's terrible. If you're seeking for job opportunities, if you have sent in an application to any organization, there's no way for you to tell when they are going to decide to reply you or how fast they are going to need a response from you. Sometimes organizations give you 24 hours window to respond, sometimes a 1 week window, sometimes a 3 days window to respond, or they will think you're not serious. And so because they expect that, advanced people, someone that they want to hire in a corporate position should be someone that checks his emails. And so let's say they send you a reply. It might be an application you made 1 month ago. Maybe you've even forgotten it. In our own company, we've had situations like that where people made applications and months passed, we did not get back to them. The position was still there or was temporarily occupied by someone, and then we were just waiting, or we are trying to deliberate. And over a month, in fact, we recently hired someone in December into our company who applied for that job in August, or is it October? Okay, so it took nearly 2 to 3 months for us to deliberate, and of course, someone filled that position temporarily because that person was about to leave to move on with their life. Okay, it was a temporary fix. We had to come back to the idea of covering up that position, and we had to go back to the emails and search through the applications. We had started some promising candidates back then, and by the time we kept screening, we had to bring out a number of them. And somehow this guy that applied so many months ago, we picked him up, called him up, sent him a mail for interview and everything, and he showed up and we did the interview. and he passed, and we hired him. And so if you drop an application, if you are in the process of seeking for jobs, I imagine that you're sending applications here and there. Sometimes you can send so many hundreds of them and they will not reply. But one day, one of them is going to reply and he might give you a deadline to check. So if you're not checking your emails, how are you going to see that they've responded? But when the HR send you a mail, they want you to respond quickly, okay? And so even though it's something that requires you to draft something or to take some time to put together stuff, it's important that you respond. You say, okay, message received, I've acknowledged your message, I'm putting one or two things together to send you the response that you really want, okay? So, but you cannot know this and you cannot do this if you're not checking your email. So I advise you that as much as you're checking your WhatsApp, if you're seeking for jobs or opportunities or whatever it is, go on to check your emails as often as possible every given day. Not once a day, not twice a day. Nothing stops you from checking your emails at least 4 times a day. I believe any organization that is serious will give you at least a minimum of 24 hours to respond to something that they send to you. So at least 4 times a day is just fair to check your emails, okay? That's number 1. Number 2 is sending information in piecemeal. We have seen people, you request that they send in applications for particular positions, and then the documents that you want them to send, maybe you see your CV, your degree certificate, your licenses, your all of those stuffs, okay? And then you see someone will send you the CV in one email, create a new thread, and send you his certificate, then send on a new email his license, on another email his passport, on another email his man. And so you see the same person has about 6 emails threads for one position. HRs are very busy and impatient. Normally they are busy and impatient, and they are going to be pissed off by something like this. You can't be seen doing something like that. You shouldn't be doing something like that. Because how is he supposed to, okay, you're expecting him to download to open all the emails one by one. And who told you that all of them are going to even come and be lined up in the same, in the same order? It may not be in the same order. So by the time you send that first one, 20 other people might send their own mails, and then your own will now be number 21, and then another 15 people, and then your own is number 50. And then how is he supposed to sit down and process that, okay, this person, how is he going to gather your application together? So the moment you send your application like that, you are almost guaranteed to not get a response. Okay? And it may not mean that you're not skilled. It just means you're foolish and you are uninformed and you're ignorant. And that's why you missed that opportunity. So the least you can do is to gather all your documents first. Why are you in a haste to send them? Or is it just that you don't know how to interact with email? That's not acceptable. It's an unpardonable sin if you're really seeking for jobs, because most organizations work with emails. So how are they going to send you information or you receive information from them if you don't know how to interact on email? It's your job to do. The platform is there for you. You can send, you can play around with your friends or create 2 emails and send to yourself and see how it looks. Okay? And so you cannot be sending your information or your documents or your applications piece by piece on different threads. Even on the same thread, you should not do that. Okay? And so sit down, be patient, gather everything you have to send, couple them up, depending on how they request for it. If they did not set any, if you are not told exactly how to send it, it's usually best to couple them together in one file, possibly PDF or whichever way, but don't put it in a format that most people are not going to be able to open. Because some people put their emails or their documents in a format that requires a special software to open. That's dangerous. Use PDF, use Microsoft Word. Most people are going to have these things. Adobe Reader and Word documents and all of those stuff can open most files, okay? So stick to PDF or Microsoft Word, except you are instructed to use a different type of format or software to send your application. Stick to these, okay? And keep the volume or the size of the file as low as possible and send it. If possible, compile all your documents, the CV, the certificates, the degrees, everything, experience letters, compile all these things into one document, one single document, so that once the person clicks on that document, he sees everything. He's just scrolling. So you make it easy for the person. There's a principle I work with. Do not leave the hard work for the person you're looking for something from. If you're seeking for opportunity from me, okay, don't give me work to do. Your job should be to reduce the work I have to do to help you or to give you what you want. Okay? So try as much as possible to reduce the work I have to do to give you what you are looking for. And in this case, you're seeking for a job and I am holding that job. You don't give me the job of sieving through thousands of emails to gather together your emails and to gather together your documents and to create. Come on, I can guarantee you no HR is going to do that, okay? And so take the time, find the softwares. There are softwares out there. Because I'm trying to be very liberal with this video, I love PDF. Just go online and search for I love PDF. Okay, it's a free software, and I think they also have a paid version that can do more things. Okay, but the free version will even be enough for most of what you're trying to do, like to merge documents, convert documents from Word to PDF, from PDF to Word, to split PDFs, and all of those stuff. So just go on Google Chrome and type I love PDF, and you're going to find it. It has a love sign with a folded top also. Just see it, and it's red in color, their platform. You'll be able to convert documents and do a lot of stuff, and it's better you open it on a desktop or a laptop, okay? You'll be able to do almost everything I'm saying here with that platform. Just search for I love PDF, okay? When you do that, it can help you convert documents, merge your documents together and all of those stuffs. And you'll be able to send in one attachment. Send your document as an attachment. Okay? So send your documents as one file, except when it was stated that you should send it one by one. Some employees or some employers, organization inclusive, sometimes tells people to send it one by one, and sometimes we decide the format. We can ask you to send your CV as Microsoft Word and couple every other thing and send as one PDF file, which means we're expecting to see two files attached to your email: one your CV in Word and one other documents in PDF compiled together. But sometimes, if nothing was stated, it might just make sense to send it as a PDF file. Even if you choose Word, compile everything and put them together. These things are not so hard, but you give yourself a better chance and stop sending your documents in piecemeal. Even under the same thread, don't do that, okay? Now, number 3 is not using appropriate or keyword-related subjects. When you're sending emails, there is a part where you have to fill in the subject. There's a place you have to put the email of the organization that you're sending it to, and then there's a slot there for subjects, okay? This will seem funny. What I'm teaching here will seem so basic, fundamental, and funny to people, but I'm telling you what the majority of people who send in applications to our company or to our agency do that hurts their chances. And I imagine they are doing the same thing with other organizations. And these HRs don't have your time. So they simply focus on those who have learned the right way to do things and the proper way to do things. And they help them. They screen their applications and they just trash your own. They could even delete it or send it to spam. Okay? Okay? If he comes to his email in the morning and he opens it and he sees 20 messages from you and he clicks and he's seeing your certificate or this thing, he doesn't want you to keep spamming his email. He will just block you and deprioritize your email, and you lose any chance you have of ever getting that position. And so learn these things. Now, for subjects, always include the keywords that were in the advertisement in your subject. Some people will tell you what to use as your subject. We've done that. Of recent, we are trying to recruit dermatologists, and so in the advertisement, it was stated clearly that you should make the subject of your email dermatologist. Okay, so you don't need to write any other thing, just write dermatologist. Okay, because we know dermatologists will not be so many out there. Okay, and so it's easy to spot it amidst other jobs that we are trying to recruit for. And we are prioritizing them. So when you fill your email and on the subject, you write dermatology. The moment we see it, someone senior is more likely to open it and attend to you because that was what we asked, and we know that that population is not that vast. We are running adverts for this position, for instance. And so, because we know not many people are out there who are dermatologists who might be looking for the opportunities like this. And so, we say, write dermatologist. So, any other thing you write that is not dermatologist, the HR is looking for dermatologist. Scrolling. And maybe you wrote application for a job abroad. You missed that. That person is going to meet you in the midst of lots of applications or emails that he has to sift through. Or he could just go up and click on search dermatologist because you have been told to use that as your subject. And when he searches based on subject, dermatologist, he sees maybe 20 people. And yours is not there because you wrote application by Chidebere Nwachukwu for job in your organization. You have missed that opportunity, and the people who follow the instruction will get it. So when instructions were given on how or what your subject should be, adhere to the instruction to the letter. When no instruction was given, check the advertisement, the keywords on the advert, and make sure they are in your subject. For example, if someone is looking for, let's say, BSc nurses, okay, in the advert, maybe he said advertisement for BSc nurses. When you are sending your email, it's good to include, if you want to say BSc nurse application for Qatar, BSc nurse application for, let's say, US, BSc nurse. So try to put the keywords of the advertisement in your subject. Some of them might want you to include your name, so it's easy for them to search, okay? So you can say Chidiabere's BSc nurse application for Qatar, so that when they search, and try to put the keyword first, because the email, if the subject is too long, you may not be able to see the end at a glance. So let the keywords, find a way to arrange your keywords so they come first. So BSc nurse, even if you want to add something to, let's say, the dermatologist I spoke before, you can say dermatologist application to Qatar by or from. Are you getting? But ensure that keyword comes first, at least in the first 2 to 3 words, so that whether they are checking the application, the emails on phone or on computers, the keywords cannot be missed and be replaced with dot. Okay? So paying attention to your subject is another important thing to state for emails. Number 3, or is it number 4, is not following up. Some people send emails and they just hope and believe that the HR is going to read it and that if he wants them, he will have replied them. It's not always like that. Okay, sometimes you need to follow up. And I'd like to mention here, in case I forget, that you should try to follow up on the same thread as your original application, which is to say, if you sent in an application, let's say 1 week ago or 2 weeks ago, and you want to now follow up, don't create a new email thread. Go to that email you sent before and send a reply to it. Click on reply all or reply, whichever one, so that when your mail comes in, the HR can easily see that what you are referring to or what you're following up on. Okay? So just do that when you're following up. And it depends. Sometimes some organizations might tell you, don't follow up till after 1 month or 1 week or 2 weeks or whichever way. But if they did not say anything, there is a relatively fair amount of time it takes. You should know to follow up. Sometimes it might be 72 days or 1 week, okay, or 2 weeks, okay. If the advertisement said we want to hire someone within 1 week, then you should follow up in say 48 hours or 3 days, because they will most likely be working overtime on that on the applications, and they are trying to fill up that position within the short time. So following up 2 weeks later, when they told you the job is to be filled up in 1 week, it's too late. And it's different for some other jobs. You might just have to follow up after 1 week or something, but you must try to follow up. And following up can prioritize you to the eyes of the HR, and it can make him to open your email even though he did not open it previously. So he could now open it and be able to see that, oh, this guy applied for this position and I did not see it. What has happened? He's following up. It means he's consensus. Okay, let's check and see what he's got. And he opens it, and there you are. You land that position, or you give yourself the chance to be considered. Okay, so not following up. Some people just send the emails and they go and sleep. No follow up. I've had someone that applied for a position, and at the time the person applied for that position, the age we were looking for was 35 years old. Okay, people 35 years and less. Now, and that person was 38 years old, and so based on the criteria we had at that time, we ignored that person's email, because the HR cannot possibly reply to all emails. He will most likely be replying to only those he thinks are good prospects for that position. Okay, so we don't reply that person, and so after a while, we reviewed the criteria and extended it to 40. Now, that person now sent, and then from that point, people that sent in who were up to 40 years, we are being considered, or 40 and below, we are being considered. But we had already skipped that person. Now, they follow up that person did. We are trying to find out, why is this person saying we did not respond to them? Because we are very, very serious with our emails and we try to respond, or at least to check all the emails as quickly as possible. So we began to check and probe and realized that the person is 38 years. And we now understood that the reason she was not given a response before was because she was disqualified on the basis of her age. But with the new criteria, she now came in. And based on that, we followed her up, and she's currently in the process of getting hired. Are you getting? And her message reminded us or showed us that, oh, we should go back and review the previous applications that we ignored because they were more than 35, and see those who are less than 40 and reconsider them, just because she followed up. So following up is a big deal, and you must learn to do that when you're doing things. In fact, some people think you're not serious until you follow up. I know it's not a right thing to do, but you just have to give yourself the best chance. Number 5 is following up too much. You see that balance is the key to life. Some people follow up too soon or too much. You can't send an email and let's say you are responded to and you were told, okay, we are working on it, we'll get back to you in 72 hours. And in 24 hours, you are following up. That's following up too much. Or in one day, you send 3 emails expecting that the HR must respond to you before you stop. That's desperation, and organizations don't also like desperate people. So there's a thin line between a motivated person, a passionate person, a consensus person, and a desperate, unhinged person without self-control. And such people irritate HRs as well. And so if you're following up, try to be smart about it. It depends on the situations around the job or the opportunity you're applying for, and the instructions that we are given on the advert, and your understanding of how soon is too late. 2 days, 3 days on a normal, it's just fair to follow up. Okay, so you give the people chance, the opportunity to go through your application. Of course, it's not just you, they have a lot of other people, and so you can't be expecting that, oh, my own must be addressed today. Sometimes they stretch out these stuffs over, like, say, 1 week, so we have to attend to everybody, select who they want, and then they'll start getting back to people. Okay, and so following up too much is also a thing. In fact, it can stand you out as the person that should not be hired. So be smart about it. Be balanced about it. Know when too much is just too much. Just do enough, but don't overdo it. Okay? Next is using informal languages on emails. That's unacceptable. Email, you must not do that. In fact, it doesn't matter the platform, as I'm going to still mention, you must maintain professionalism, official languages. Do not become informal, even though they are responding to. Sometimes you have been selected, or you have been shortlisted, and so they are responding more to your mails. Don't get too comfortable and start using contracted forms of speech or informal words, or saying or not being formal in your emails. Remain respectful, remain official, remain formal in all your responses, and keep it that way. Okay, even if the HR replies you, acknowledged. Don't just reply to his email, acknowledged. Be formal about it. Always follow the sequence and put your name at the end. Stay official, okay, until you get what you're looking for. I'm not saying you should change after that, but you get what I mean. Okay, so stay, don't call. Yes, and all applications for jobs are formal applications, and so there's no room for you to be using pet names, short forms. I get the email platforms these days try to be as nice as possible. Hello Chidebere, that's cool. Dear Amarachi, all of those are nice. It's still cool, but don't say dear Ami baby or dear Ami, or because maybe you know the HR and you try to remind the HR that, oh, I am XYZ from this place. You know me, we went to school together. No, you don't do that on emails. If you really know the HR, then call him up and he'll pick your call and you guys will talk. Okay? Do not. Okay? Fine. Number 7 is, this is so long, but there's no way to rush these stops. I'm sorry, but this video is gradually becoming more lengthy than I thought it was going to be. But I think people need to hear these stuffs, and there's no easy way to say it. Number 7 is insulting or venting on HR managers or recruiters. Sometimes recruitment opportunities or recruitment process can be a bit lengthy, and so they might have started replying you, and you guys are ongoing, and then you drop out at some point in the screening process. So some HRs can be nice enough to send you a message, sorry, this is the end of the road for you. I am telling you, if a HR sends you a rejection email, you should actually be glad, because they usually don't have the time or patience to do that. They ignore most people who they are not going to select. They just focus on the person they are trying to hire, those who keep crossing the screening processes. So if a HR actually sits down to write you a rejection mail, you should be just grateful that they've helped you close this door and to move on to the next phase of your life and to stop hoping in vain. Because most people will not even do that. They'll just ignore the mails, or they'll start ignoring the moment they lose interest in you. And so if a HR sends you a rejection email, for instance, it is not a time to start insulting the person. I'm telling you what we have experienced, and start insulting the company, that you guys have always been a nonsense company. You've always been scam. You've always been all due apologies to my own brothers, okay, from my country. People let go of their emotions and they vent it on emails. Things you cannot take back. Mind you, sometimes, because you have gone through the process to a point, they might have started your application, and let's say the choice person does not perform how they are looking or how they are expecting, they could actually come back to you. But because you let your emotion to override your common sense or your sense of judgment, you began to respond rashly on emails, and they now block you, or you block the opportunity. They say, oh, sorry, we can't recruit someone like this to our organization. And then they drop you. So you don't do that. No matter how angry you are, even if they did not respond to you, you don't say, why would you ignore my emails? I'm sending you emails and you guys are not responding. You guys are foolish and stupid. You're full of shit. Ooh, you don't do that. Some of these organizations, even, these HRs, they interact, and you could just block the way for yourself in a whole industry and not just that organization. Okay? So don't vent. Don't stay stoic. It's called stoicism. Stay stoic. Keep your emotions under check. No matter how hurt you are, don't display it over emails. Number Eight is not acknowledging emails. I think I've already mentioned that, so I'm not going to waste time there here. Okay, when emails are sent to you from HRs, they want to know you've read it because they are not sure what your email reading habits are. And so they want to be rest assured that they're making progress in what they are doing. And so acknowledging their emails by saying, thank you, dear XYZ, I have received your message. Thank you. I'm putting the application together. I'm putting the documents you requested together, and I'll send it to you in no time. Best regards. You write your name and sign out. You've acknowledged that email, and the HR knows, oh, this guy is working on it. And so he's at peace. So acknowledging your emails can help improve your chances of getting hired. Okay? I think I've already mentioned something about sending multiple single attachments. Okay? So I've spoken on that. So number 10 is ignoring application instructions. Do not ignore application instructions. The applications is usually difficult for HRs to sift through applications. So I'm telling you this thing because I know I draft these applications sometimes in our company, and then I know the time it takes us to put together the instructions. And so the reason we are doing that is to make the selection process easier. So if you break the instruction, you get out of the loop and you remove yourself and you take away your chance of ever being considered. So whatever instructions we are giving for the application, either the subject, the whatever it is, how you should write the mails, how you should send the attachments, whatever the size of the attachment, try to be patient enough. Read the advert from the beginning to the end. Read the advert 2 or 3 times. Be sure you understand what they're seeking for before you start sending your applications, okay? And make sure I send it to the right email. Some people have sent their applications to the wrong email, okay? And that also brings us to the point of observing the email after you send it. Sometimes you made a mistake in typing the email address, and then the email platform will return a message to you, address not found. Don't just keep resending and resending and resending. No, go and check and make sure you put the right email. Maybe you made a mistake in typing it. Okay? And oftentimes when you get the right email, Gmail, for instance, will show you that, oh, this email actually is existing. Okay? So try to be sure you wrote the right email, or that you put in the right email when you're sending your applications. Okay, fine. So try to also follow the instruction. Whatever instructions you are given, try to follow it. Okay. Now, another thing is to maintain the same thread when you're sending follow-up messages. I've mentioned that in passing. Try to follow up your application on the same thread. Don't, and then even if for whatever, and even when you're following up on the same thread, try to introduce yourself again, reintroduce yourself. Not assume that the HR is remembering you, and so you just say, I sent my application 2 weeks ago. Why have you not responded to me? All of those stuff. No. First, my name is Shebere. I sent my application on 15th of January 2023 around 5 p.m. You can see it on this thread. Okay. I applied for XYZ position. I'm trying to follow up to know why I've not been gotten back to. Is the position still vacant? Am I under consideration, or should I move on? You see that? So the HR, not only have you sent it on the same thread, your subject is still relevant. Now he can easily refer back to your application, your previous mail, to check if why he did not reply to you, and all of those things, and you stand a better chance of being responded to. Okay? Yes. So, and do not assume the HR remembers you. There are so many people going to, some people will tell you, maybe you responded to them, oh, we do not have any opportunities or any vacancies at this point. They will now tell you, please inform me when there is vacancy. Hello, who are you? Why should the HR remember you to inform you among thousands of people? Who are you? So don't assume the HR has a personal relationship with you. Okay, even though their emails might try to sound like that, but trust me, they don't know you. Many of them don't care. And so be the one introducing yourself and stay as formal as you can. Okay, another one is late response to emails. You should not respond late to emails. Try to respond as soon as possible. Acknowledge the emails and submit whatever they want you to submit, because the HR is not in your life. You're in another world, another location. He can't really be following you up that much. So he needs to know that you're following up, or that you're still interested, or you're still engaging. And so you need to respond to an email as quickly as possible. Okay. Now, some people also finally make the mistake of sending only attachments without a description. So let's say the applications, the advertisement said, send your CV, your license, your degree certificate, and all of those things. Some people just couple all these things together. They even do the right thing, but there is no introduction to the attachment. So they simply just dump their documents in the email. No, you should always write something. Dear hiring manager, I am XYZ. I am applying for the role of XYZ as advertised by your company. I have attached a document containing my CV, degree, license, all of those things. Hoping to hear from you soon. Thank you. Your name. Okay? So he even knows what he's going to see in that document you've attached. So people don't even have the time to start. There is a way your mail will come. They will be wondering, well, what is even in this thing? Okay? So, but you need to give yourself the best chance. So if you introduce your documents like this, it's more likely to click on it and open it. Another mistake people make is writing very lengthy introductions to their documents. I saw one time. I was shocked. I'm like, nobody is going to read that stuff. Nobody's going to read it. If you see how long what this person wrote, and unfortunately, or either way, even though that the individual who did what I'm referring to now was qualified for the position we are seeking for, and we consider the person, but it had nothing to do with the long epistle she wrote, because we had to scroll and see where the attachments were and open it. The same criteria as we were looking for in everybody, we are the same criteria as we are looking for in her own application. So if she didn't have them, the long mail notwithstanding, she will still not be hired. And so keep the introduction short so the person doesn't lose interest before getting to your attachments. Okay? Keep it short. There's nothing, you are not, keep it short. There's nothing to impress. There's nothing to impress. Your documents are there to speak. Okay? Keep your cover letters and all of those stuff you write on the email short and concise. Okay? And I believe with these few points, if you're able to do these things I've mentioned on this episode, you will be able, to stand a better chance if you're really qualified to get noticed and get picked by the HRs in this organization. So I'll see you on the next episode. We are not sure where it's going to be posted, but subscribe to this channel, turn on your notifications, keep on checking from time to time, watch our other videos that we post. You never can tell. But the next one is going to be dropping soon, still on this matter, but no more email. I think we are going to be talking about WhatsApp and how to relate with small businesses and organizations who give you the opportunity to talk with them on WhatsApp, how to relate with them to not frustrate your chances of getting hired and to prevent them from blocking you outrightly. Okay? Trust me, we have blocked so many people already. And so I'm just telling you. So don't miss the next video. Try to stay in touch, subscribe to the channel, and keep checking, keep coming back. Follow us on all our social media platforms. And I just hope you benefited from this video. If you enjoyed this video and if you learned something, please like the video, share it, subscribe, and do whatever you have to do. Okay? Have a great day, guys. Yeah, bye-bye.